Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a power review, season 5 episode 2, damage control. Now nothing really didn't happen in this episode, so I'm just going to go through it. I don't want to make the video too long because last week the video, it took like 2 hours to upload. But don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the thumbs up button and the notification bell so you get a notification every time I upload a video. Okay, where it starts off with Tasha in the room grieving. She finally get a chance to grieve Raina's death, crying and all this stuff. And then Tariq walks in and asks her, is she okay? She couldn't even muster up enough strength to even look at Tariq. Like, who could? Like, you're the cause of all of this. Like, she was your twin. Like, your twin died. And also, Ghost came to see, like, what was going on with her. And it seemed like she didn't want people to see her grieve. Ghost don't want people to see him grieve, and Tariq doesn't either. It's weird. None of them want people to see them grieve. Like, this is a normal reaction. You're supposed to grieve. Everybody grieves in different ways. And then when Ghost walked up, she got up and he said, you can't leave the room, and she was like, and you can't come in it. So basically she'd been sleeping in the room, just being in the room all the time, and Ghost can't even come in there because he feels so bad. Like, and Tariq walked in, so Tasha finally get a chance to grieve, and she was talking about the group counseling thing through the church, and Ghost finally agreed to let her talk to somebody because she keeps saying she need to talk to somebody. And I think she really does need to talk to somebody because holding all this stuff in, she's gonna explode. And Ghost finally agreed to actually go to see what it was about in order to please her. And she ended up asking Ghost who else knew about Tariq and Ray Ray, and he said he didn't know that he was going to ask Kanan. And we see him later on in the episode. He asked Kanan, and Kanan was like Brains, and he said Brains' real name, but I forgot what he said. So he said Brains' real name. So Ghost ended up taking it back to Tasha later on, and she ends up going to Angela, telling Angela Brains' name. And when Angela typed it in her computer, she saw that Brains was already dead. Like, if you remember last season, Ray Ray came back and killed Brains and the friend in the apartment. I can't remember why, but he actually did go back and kill them inside the apartment. So that could be why Brains is dead. But Kanan don't know this. He honestly don't know. He just was like, nobody has seen him. But wouldn't they have a funeral? I don't get it. A mother, like, Ray Ray didn't just kill them and hid the bodies, did they? Did he? If so, then that's exactly the fate that happened to him. Isn't that weird? But yeah, so Brains is dead. So that's the only other link too. But the other guy dead too. But they didn't. Kanan didn't know about the other guy. He only knew about Brains. And then we get Tommy. Tommy's in trouble with the Italians. Like, they find out that one of the kids who Tommy asked him for the hit is dead. And then Tommy's daddy's right hand man came to Tommy's apartment trying to get Tommy. Tommy like, no, I got something to do. He was like, no, you get in this car. So he put Tommy in the car and took him to the warehouse. The other guy, he survived. He barely was holding on. And he was like shot in the abdomen. And he was still talking all this junk. And Tommy was like, oh, this why y'all ain't call me back. Because someone kept trying to call them and get in contact with them. But they weren't answering the phone. I'm like, Tommy, wouldn't common sense tell you something happened if you put a hit out on somebody and they're not answering you back? Like, maybe something happened to the person. That's just common sense. But Tommy ended up, he wanted to shoot the man. And then the man was like, the right hand man, what's his name? Is it Sam? I can't remember what his name is. His daddy right hand man. He was like, no, you're not going to do this. And he was like, you're going to explain you're going to explain this to Vincent. And then Tommy was like, he want to go see Teresi. So he ends up going down there and seeing Teresi. And Teresi was speaking in code, talking about this party. Basically what he was saying was, you was wrong. You should have came to me first. And you didn't even tell Vincent about this. Now you're going to have to explain to Vincent what's going on. And you're going to have to accept whatever punishment Vincent give you. Vincent is the man who agreed to move 75% of Tommy's weight last episode. So Tommy, he didn't even fight back. He just was like, okay, Dad. Well, did he say Dad? I don't know. But he just said, okay, whatever. And then Tommy's daddy, right-hand man, ended up taking him back to the warehouse. And when they get back, the boy was dead. And they came back with, like, some doctor and stuff. And I'm like, why wouldn't you think to bring the doctor first to get the bullet? Because he's talking about the doctor coming to patch up the wounds. What about taking the bullet out? Did he already take the bullet out? And I'm like, why would you think this man was there? He was barely holding on to life as it was. He's been shot for what, couple of days? Because I think a couple of days had passed and Tommy couldn't get in touch with him. And that doctor man, he didn't even care. He was like, you said I was still getting paid. That man reached his hand for his money. I would have been the same thing. I would have been the same way. Where my money at? And you told me just for me coming out here, I was getting my money. And then while Tommy get done with that, he meet up with Ghost and Kanan in some random alley. And Jason pulls up with his gun. And Tommy and Ghost and Kanan pulled out their guns. And then Tom was like, wait, this Jason from Chicago. And everybody put their guns down or whatever. He walked up going off on Tommy. Because Tommy promised him the LA port thing for the drugs to be ran through this port. But the Jimenez owned that port. So in the beginning of the episode, two of Jason's guys went to the port. And the Jimenez guys were there, and they was like, what are you doing here? He was like, we got permission to go here. And they were like, no, you don't. Did you speak to somebody? He's like, yeah, we spoke to somebody. And then they got ready to turn around and walk away. And when they got ready to turn around and walk away, Jason guys pulled out a gun and started shooting. And the Jimenez people shot him dead. Like, I don't think the Jimenez people were going to actually shoot them until they pulled their guns out. Because they didn't even, when the people turned around and walked away, they didn't flinch or anything. They ain't like pull out their guns or anything. But Jason guys pulled out a gun and they got killed. And that what Jason was coming to confront Tommy about. And he was like, well, since you're going to have to take the Jimenez out. And Tommy was like, okay, anything it takes. And then he was like, since you can't leave Ghost alone, Ghost in it too. And Ghost standing there looking like, every time I try to get out, y'all got some. Now y'all got me in this junk that didn't even involve with me. And then it was like, he didn't even look at Kane. He was like, I don't even know who this is, but he in it too since he here. Because Kane was like, I'm my old friend. He was like, well, he in it too. So basically, Tommy done got all three of them to take out the Jimenez. They got to take out the Jimenez in order to keep Jason's off Tommy's ass. And I'm like, Tommy. You're really trying it. And then we get Ghost. Ghost finally came home and asked Tasha, because Tate asked him to ask Tasha to come to some press conference or something like that, where they're going to just be talking about Raina's death. Not Tasha and Ghost, but the other people they were going to be expressing their opinions and feelings and all that about Raina's death. And he said he was going to ask Tasha. Now Tate is so crooked. We saw him like put his stuff down saying that he wanted to run for governor and all this, and he was got his whole thing mapped out, because he ended up telling Ghost that a clean man like him shouldn't have his daughter like be murdered or whatever. It's gonna bring up a lot of questions. So Ghost needed to find Raina's killer, and they need to do it quickly. But he basically just using Raina's death to help boost his campaign, because he always keep talking about the donors and all this stuff. And I'm like, Tate, you are really crooked, Lorenz Tate. You really starting to get on my nerves. So Ghost asked Tasha. Tasha agreed. As soon as they walked in there, Lorenz Tate done ambushed them, telling them, oh, the family want to come up and speak. And Tasha looking like, ain't this about a big talk? Ghost was looking like that too. But she ended up there. She got up there and she spoke. She spoke really good. She spoke really well. And was talking about Raina and helping find her killer. And I'm like, child, Tariq at home. And she was just saying her little speech or whatever. So after she got done, she went off on Ghost, as she should. It was like, you ambushed me. He was like, no, he ambushed me too. And I'm like, Ghost, why didn't you see this coming? Because he been doing crooked stuff since you met him last season. He been doing crooked stuff since you met him. Like, every time it's a new monkey wrench he throwing at y'all. And you just sit up there taking it because so you want to get out the game so bad. But you need to be one step ahead, because as the way it's looking, Lorenz Tate probably actually be in the game. I don't know. But he's like keep doing crooked stuff. And then Ghost and Tasha to end up going in the grief meeting. And everybody just speaking of whatever, and they looking around. And Tasha, they asked anybody that want to speak. Tasha raised her hand to speak. And Ghost like pulled her hand down like as he saw her raising it. He didn't want her to talk. And I'm like, what's the point of coming in here and listening to everybody else talk and you can't even talk? I'm quite sure Tasha not going to give y'all up. She's not going to give y'all up. So I don't understand. But they was just listening to everybody speak. And then there was this one guy, the man Larry off If Loving You Is Wrong. He was talking about how his son got killed by a drunk driver. And how he stalked the man. How he know what liquor store the man go to, where he work at. all this crap. So basically, he was just like laying it out. He was like, how can you not want that person dead when they done killed your child and don't even have any remorse? And I'm like, why is this man still free? He been drinking and driving and he done killed somebody. Like, aren't they in New York? Aren't New York drinking and driving laws really strict like they gun laws? But the man was white, so anyway, so they end up leaving, and Tasha was going out. She's like, what's the point of me coming here if you're not gonna let me speak, Ghost? And she was like, he said something. She was like, well, maybe we need to go to a counselor for drug dealers with kids who get killed. I said, Tasha. And she didn't want to get back in the car with him. I think she probably called an Uber or another ride for somebody to come pick her up. She didn't want to get back in the car with him. So he ended up like driving off whatever and just leaving, and kept trying to call Angela. Angela still not answering her phone. He kept trying to call her, but she just looked at the phone. She ignored the phone. We finally saw the Gaines dude who login she stole, because he came into her office and was like, what did IT say about my password? So basically she done hacked this man's profile and his password and using it to delete stuff and all this stuff, but it's still on her computer. So I don't get it. You might as well would have just signed in under Angela Valdez if you're going to use your own computer, because that doesn't make any sense. And speaking of her, she had this meeting with Sachs and what that black lady name is? Is her name Juanita? I can't remember. And Mark was telling about the Jimenez cartel, how Diego was in town, and that his wife, they think the sister is the wife, but the sister is actually way more ruthless than he is. And they found the gold gun that he ended up killing that man with. Remember I was telling about the other episode? He ended up killing that man and killing the woman, making the man snort the cocaine or whatever, when they found out she was going to snitch. And they kept the baby. They had the surveillance of her carrying the baby. They got the gun, so they think they one step closer to getting them. And they just talking, and she asking Sachs to do something. He wrote down, okay, bitch. I just bust out laughing, because I'm like, he really hate Angela. That joke was just so, it was really, really funny to me. He was like, okay, bitch. And he was had this serious look on his face. I promise y'all, that joke was so funny to me. And she ended up adjourning the meeting or whatever. And they still didn't tell her about Maria and all this, so she don't know anything about that. Then we get Dre. Dre goes to see Diego. Diego's up in his penthouse apartment or something like that, but it was like this big glass thing, and he having sex with this girl, and this other girl like on her knees behind, like on his booty. And Dre walked in. Dre was like, oh, I'll come back. He was like, no, I want you to watch. I like an audience. And I'm like, what kind of freaking mess is this? So he ended up getting a few more pumps, and then he ended up coming. And he was talking to Dre about how his boys got killed at the port, and how he lost $2 million from that, and then he lost some more money from kilos being seized in the raid. So he want Dre to go get his money back, and he want Dre to like calm all this stuff down, because Uriel dead, and the Todos Locos, they're fighting within their organization. So he wanted Dre to like calm them down and pick a leader for them, so they can just stop all this. So Dre was like, okay. So Dre goes back to this warehouse with his, I guess his number 2, which is Francis, and he was talking to him or whatever, and Cristobal walks in. He was like, can I speak to you privately? And then the man was like, no, I'm cool. And then Dre was like, yeah, he cool. So he started talking to him about the Todos Locos do, how they fight within the organization, how they do to pick a leader. They got one that's more experienced, but he young, and they got one that's old that don't really know what he doing. And then Francis jumped there, and he was like, I think you should pick the one that don't really know what he was doing, because he's easier to control. And Dre was like, okay. And Chris Paul was like, I don't agree with that. And Dre was like, okay, well, that's what I'm gonna go with. And I'm like, Chris Paul, you let Dre run you too? Like, what's up? And then they was talking about how they gonna have to take out one of the 818 dudes. And then they was like, they was gonna have to hire somebody to do it, so it won't come back to them and then kill the people that they hired. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So Francis ended up leaving, and he get in the car with Spanx, and him and Spanx, they driving by because Dre told him he's in charge of getting the shipment now. And they driving by, they see the 818 dude, and then Francis like turn the car around. Spanx was like, no, this is crazy. He was like, no, turn the car around. Like, I'm going to save Dre some time and some money. So turn the car around. And Spanx kept saying no. Then he, eventually turned the car around. And then Francis pulled out a gun and shoot the man in broad daylight, just walking down the street. I'm like, it could be camera lights there, camera lights there. They should probably have cameras on the actual building where the shipment coming in and look at. Like, what are you doing? And they just sped off in the middle of the thing. So he ended up meeting back with Dre at the end of the day or whatever, and he telling Dre what happened, that he took him out, and Dre was like, what the fuck you doing? Like, I told you what the process was gonna be. And he was like, well, I say you time and money. He said, that's not the point. The point that it shouldn't come back to us. And then the man was like, well, you really think you renting something now? He was like, what Dre said? He said, the boy said, you really think you renting something now? You want shit when I met you or something like that. And then you think you big and bad now. And the boy, and Dre was like, you work for me, Francis. I said, Francis, what his street name is. But like, you work for me, Francis. And what I say you gonna do, that's what you gonna do. And Francis was looking like, all right. Now, mind you, Kanan is sitting outside watching all this happen, because they was outside with this. And Kanan looked at Francis, and he was like, that's gonna be his way in. That's how he was looking at Francis. He was like, he was gonna take over Dre organization, and he was gonna take over Tommy organization. And I'm like, you still plotting to take over Tommy organization? I don't think he want to take over Ghost, because Ghost ain't got no organization no more. He ain't got no hitters. He ain't got no protection on the street, because he out the game. He told him he was out the game. And speaking of Kanan, he been trying to get into Ghost's ear about Tommy, saying how Tommy is the reason he in this, and how Tommy too hot-headed, and he'll be out the game if it wasn't for Tommy. He would already have Dre killed if the Italians didn't mess it up. And Ghost just like taking his all in. And then they started talking about Tariq. That's how Tariq was doing. And Ghost like, he alright. And he was like, Tariq is smarter than you was at this age. Tariq a good street dude. And Ghost was like, rightfully so, like, he didn't want his son in this game, which he shouldn't want his son in the game. And then Kanan was like, well, I just think he's like really good at what he's doing. And back to Dre. Dre went to go see the Todos Locos people, and then like he ended up manipulating one of the Todos Locos people that he picked for to be the leader to admitting to the murder that Francis did. We just had one day, he was like, yeah, you did that murder on something. He was looking like, what the hell are you talking about? And then he was like, but I don't know. He was like, yeah, I did it. And I'm like, how would you admit this? Like, now you probably got some people that's gonna come after you, but Dre sent up that line. I guess he's trying to keep it from being on him. But he ended up telling Cristobal what happened. Cristobal was like, you have to take him out, because we already said whoever committed the murder, he was gonna have to get taken out. So that's why Dre came up with that plan to try to get the Todos Locos man to admit to the murder. And he kind of did in front of the people. But as you can see, he was confused. So I don't know if his crew actually bought it, but we'll see as the season go on. And we have Keisha. Now Keisha is still being nosy. Like, girl, the people trying to save you, because if the feds come or somebody come, you won't be lying when you say you don't know, because they know you are the weak link. Because if you know anything, they know you're gonna crack. Because she keep begging people to tell her what's going on. But I kind of understand her too. But don't be begging me to cover for you when you ain't even tell me what the fuck you did. Because like, she was in there cooking, and Tommy had came in there with asking with Tasha, because Tasha ended up sneaking out to go see Angela at the beginning of the episode, when she was telling her about brains. And she was asking Tommy what was going on, and Tommy was like, Keisha, you don't even know about what's going on with this. He's like, you a good girl, you don't need to know about this. Which is the truth. She don't need to know about any of this stuff going on. But if they're gonna ask her to lie for them, like, what's the point of asking her to lie when y'all ain't gonna even tell her what's going on? Because I know I ain't finna lie for nobody, and I'm definitely ain't finna lie for you, and you ain't even tell me what the hell going on. No, that's not gonna happen. And when she came, when her and Tommy got done talking, Ghost came in, and he was like, what Tasha? She was like, oh, she said she had to go run some errands. So Tasha not telling Ghost that she meet with Angela privately, and Ghost not telling Tasha. He keep calling Angela, and keep doing all this underhanded stuff. Like, they're both keeping stuff away from each other because they don't trust each other. They trust gone too. Usually they stick together. They got a plan. They don't trust each other either. And Tasha look like she's trying to cover her behind. Well, cover Tariq mainly. But I don't get it, because Ghost trying to cover him too. So I don't get it with them two. They just don't trust each other. And we got Proctor. Proctor got a recertification hearing, and then he's in there. As we saw early in the episode, Mock gave Terry Silver a subpoena because Terry ain't want to testify. Like, even though him and Proctor ain't getting along right now, he didn't want to testify being that mess, but Proctor gave him a subpoena. So he ended up coming in there. At first he was being all cool or whatever, and then he ended up telling the truth, telling the people that yes, Proctor had some borderline conflict of interest, but he really did think James was innocent. And then they was asking him about his character witnesses. They was asking him about a lot of stuff dealing with Proctor. And Terry basically went up there and he actually like told the truth. And I don't think he really was gonna do it until they subpoenaed him. But he actually did. He went up there and he threw Proctor under the bus, as we all thought he would. And so the judge lady was asking Proctor about his name. He was like, well, I changed it to my stepdad name after my mom remarried. That lady say, your mom remarried in 1987. You had a criminal last name. Your whole family was criminals and all kind of crap. And then Proctor was like, that's why I changed my name. I ain't wanted to be associated with that. And I'm like, Proctor, how you gonna try to say you changed your name? The people say your mama got married in 1987. That's like 30-something years ago. But yeah, so Proctor ended up proving that his case of, he was like, he told, when Terry Silver was on the scene, he told him, he was like, well, you say James was innocent, so it was no conflict of interest, because Tommy said he was innocent too. So the whole point was my client was innocent, so there wasn't any conflict of interest, which was kind of true. So I really hope that he get his license back, because Mark got a vendetta out against him, because they want him to turn on Ghost or Tommy. Then he really say Ghost or Tommy, because he came to Proctor early in the episode, was like, he wanted him to some information on his client, and he didn't say who, but I'm assuming it's Ghost. Well, James, because they don't really know him as Ghost, even though Mariel telling them that. But Proctor was like, no, you want me to break the law so I can get my law license back? Proctor said no, which is true. Proctor don't need to be doing this. And that's when he kept on bringing up his daughter. How you going to take care of your daughter with no money and all this stuff? She's going to have to live regular. She's going to have to live poor and all. And I'm like, child, you really trying it, Mark. I think it's something with him. He probably connected like the other man was who got killed in jail last season. What's his name? The one who actually killed Greg. I forgot. Oh, I can't remember his name. But he probably crooked like him too. Because, child. And then at the end we get Ghost. He's calling calling Angela again. She's still not answering the phone. So he ends up drinking in the car. Like, I have never seen Ghost actually drink any of the seasons. But they always say that when he's drinking is bad. But he ended up drinking in the car. And he was behind one. I'm like, what the hell is he doing? I seen some white man walking. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So he got out of the car. He confronted that man. He was like, why you drinking and driving? He was like, mind your business. And then Ghost had grabbed him. He was like, didn't you already kill somebody? What man name you killed? He was like, I don't remember the child name. And Ghost looked like, what the hell? And then Ghost just stabbed the man in the gut. And he just fell to the ground. I said, Ghost, you superhero now? You out here avenging other people's kids there? Now they gonna think this man in the grief group probably killed him, because he already know the man whole routine. He know where he live, where he work, what time he get off, what liquor store he go to, what kind of car he drive. I hope that man got an alibi, because they finna put this man in jail for this foolishness that Ghost done did. And I hope Ghost get rid of the evidence, because child, it ain't gonna work. But that's my review. That's my recap of Power Season 5, Episode 2, Damage Control. Like I said, this episode didn't really do anything. It was just setting up storylines. So we'll see what happens throughout the episode. I might have theory videos coming this week. I'll see how that goes. But nothing really happened in this episode in order for me to do a theory video. Well, nothing I can think of right now off the top of my head. But thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment down below. If you have any questions or comments or anything, leave it down below. Thumbs up this video. All my social media links are down below. Thank you for watching me. Bye.